We are here, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody in the comments wondering. It's been a weird day, obviously, the first day of NFL tampering, legal tampering. But definitely appreciate everybody for jumping on and joining us. A lot of stuff going on around the NFL. It wouldn't be free agency if Charger fans weren't pissed, but we'll get into everything. Gilbert Manzano, Fernando Ramirez. Let's just start it right off the bat. Gilbert, this morning, one of the first things that got us started, the LA Rams make a move for Jaylen Watson, 3 years, $51 million. Before that, they signed Trent McDuffie to a 4-year, $124 million deal. They get 2 ex-Chiefs on their teams. Gilberto, what were your thoughts on those 2 signings?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, Fernando, I got to cover half the signings and my coworker got the other signings. So the half that I missed, I don't know crap about. I did not write about Jaylen Watson. So you get fresh ideas, fresh thoughts here on Compas on the beat for this one here. And what wasn't money again? So I can know exactly what I'm
3
talking
years,
about.
$51 million.
Woo! Okay. And they gave
for Jaylen Watson, McDuffie, they gave 4 years, $124 million.
It's a lot of money for. Okay, I'm gonna be nice here. Or good.
I know where you're gonna go with this, and I kind of agree.
They're not superstar cornerbacks. That's a lot of money, but when you're all in, you're all in, and that was a big weakness here for the Rams after I spent the whole year crapping on the secondary. I got to say it's a good thing, right? So I'll say the money is a lot, but when you have to make a move like that to win the Super Bowl, you could kind of put that aside. The McDuffie one, I don't think he's better than Stingley, Surtain, guys like that, but he's versatile. He could definitely contribute. Watson is definitely overpaid. He played well with Spags and maybe not as versatile, but he was solid on the outside. So that gives McDuffie a lot of versatility. So the way we should view this move is just kind of like a package, right? Chess piece after chess piece for Chris Shula. So overall, it's not my money; it's Kroenke's money. So I like the signing. You get more depth. They need a lot of help there in that department.
I kind of didn't like it.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Look, I'm going to go with this. If anybody watched the Chiefs games last year, both of those guys struggled mightily. Their secondary was not very good last year. So I'm kind of wondering what the thought was. Like getting the 2 same cornerbacks from the same team that kind of struggled against the pass last year. I'm a little weary of that. And but at the same time, again, and Gilbert, you and I have been like banging this drum for days. Another one?
No, we're good.
We've been banging on this drum all season. If the Rams pass rush can get there, then yeah, it's a good move. But if the Rams pass rush can't get to the quarterback and disrupt them, then it might be a bad move because, again, a lot of it counted on the Rams secondary, or the Rams pass rush was not getting there, and they had time to throw, and that's when guys would get open. So it's going to all rely on the pass rush. Yeah. It's going to get it's going to rely on the pass rush to kind of help these cornerbacks out. But as of right now, I'm kind of like the contract that they gave McDuffie. I'm like, dude, he's not even Jalen Ramsey from 2019 that you traded for. Like, he's not on that level, but let's see if it pans out, I guess. I wonder now with Boltillo, we'll get to it in a second. Chill out. But I know a lot of
it's done anyways. Come on, Boltillo, we're gonna get there.
A lot of Charger fans are pissed at the Rams because they traded picks to the Chiefs, so that's why they're angry at them. But I definitely think that now this gets really interesting with the Rams first overall, or the 13th or 14th pick that they have. Would they go Manzoor, cornerback out of LSU, or would they in turn turn around and go with Makai Lemon, even though he gave a weird interview at the draft, at the combine, but that's where it gets interesting. The Rams can literally do anything with that pick now that they've kind of, in a way, assured the cornerback. So yeah, no, I'm on the fence. I'm leaning towards this is good, but I still am on the fence on this just because I saw both of those guys get kind of picked apart last year with the Chiefs at Jaylen more than Trent. Trent, obviously, we all know he can rush the passer, he can do different things, and he's going to be good. But I'm still a little skeptical on it. But it is
Yeah,
what it
and
is.
just to kind of counter or not counter, but I want to agree with what you said because I do. Obviously, we disagree. Where I think it's worth the risk, and you say, oh, maybe too much of a risk. But you make a point though. They were not good last year because the pass rush wasn't that great. And then when you have a Rams pass rush that's supposed to be better on paper, they were not that good last year. So they still need to make their money. They still need to come home. They still need to make plays. So if they are just getting close to the quarterback and not disrupting the quarterback, that won't be enough after making all these moves here. So you still need the pass rush to come alive. I'm with you there.
I completely agree with you, and that's the thing. It's going to be a big if with the pass rush, but because I saw that the Rams had was it that they had asked about Crosby? I think it was like I don't know. I'm interested to see what the Rams decide to do moving forward with some of these moves. But hey, they started off, they got what they needed. So I'm definitely interested to see where they go with it. But all right, let's move along. Let me ask you as a whole. Let me ask you as a whole. Tyler Biotish gets signed by the Chargers. They go get Alec Ingold. They re-sign Khalil Mack. Today they got Cole Strange. And they got oh my god, what's his name?
Penning, Trevor Penning,
Charlie Kolar,
oh,
and and they re-signed Penning.
Yeah.
Just your thoughts overall on
Can I start by saying that we told you here on this program a week ago that they're not going to get Linderbaum. They're not going to make a bunch of splash signings just because they have $70 million in cap space. They're not going to go nuts
99.
like 99, whatever the heck it was. Like, did we not learn our lesson from the past couple of years with the Joe Ortiz, Jim Harbaugh regime? They don't operate that way, but everybody's expecting, here you go, money, 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 and then like. I don't know. I don't want to be the person that calms people from this lack of signing. Yes, there's urgency. Yes, you need to protect Justin Herbert, but Mekhi Becton was a signing last year. What the hell? What did that happen there? What happened there? Yeah, you want Odafe Uwe. How do you say last name? I butchered Odafe Owe. There you go, to come back, but Jesse Minter is not back. That's also a huge risk right there. So there's just a lot of red flags this time of year where I could give you a bunch of names of free agents from last year that just didn't pan out. So to me, have patience, but I get it. People are fed up with patience. But I will say we were right here to say they're not going after Linderbaum.
Well, that market was really crazy. That one I'm a little 27 million.
Yeah, so I do like the backup plan though. By the way, that he was a solid center for the Commanders and the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think Oddish has been really good. Kolar, obviously, and Ingold are going to be blocking. Like, those two guys are going to be blocking open. You can tell what they're going to try and do this year. They're going to try and run the shit out of the ball.
Yeah.
Like last year, the last 2 years, they haven't been able to run the football because they haven't had really good running backs and stuff. So I really think what they're going to end up doing is they're going to go hard at the running game and try and open it up like that. But I'll tell you one thing, the Zion Johnson, I thought 16.5 million is a lot of money. I'm like, no, he's not worth 16 and a half a year. Like, if we're being honest.
It makes me wonder. It does make me wonder, Fernando, if teams are like, you know what, this guy got a bad hand in LA. There was no Alt, no Slater. Yeah. Everybody got hurt. And if you look at Zion Johnson's, I shouldn't say one positive, but his big positive, he was durable. He actually played in every game he started. And maybe that's all the Browns wanted, or anybody else who needed a guard, because that position is just so scarce. But maybe people see it from that standpoint where you look at it individually. But then again, I say F that because I've heard our guy Dan and Diego say he's not that good, so I take that with value.
No, exactly. So do I. So I'm kind of like, okay, 16 and a half is a lot. The Odafe Owe was a little bit surprising to me, but they must think that maybe he can't do it again. Or that they could bring anybody in to pass rush with the other two and they could form that because they need that trio. So, and it's funny because I was like, there's no way they would go after Hendrickson, would they? And then I'm like, nah. I mean, unless he comes down on his price. But I'm like, no, they're not going to do that either. But
he's still unsigned at the moment, by the way.
That's pretty surprising, especially because a lot of people are spending a lot of money. So I'm just interested to see when it comes to all these moves. Obviously, they're going to try. I know the Packers just got rid of one of their guys who
Gary?
No. They got rid of a
guard Elton Jenkins.
That guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Elton Jenkins, because I know that he was a center last year, but the year before he was our left guard and he was really good. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't go after that guy. But
I mean, a cap cut too, not just like that he sucked. There was a cap cut.
Well, that's what a lot of people were wondering about Oddish. I'm like, no, that is a cap move. Like, even like I saw Nikki, what's her name? For the Athletic. Nikki.
I'm not even gonna try.
I'm not even gonna attempt it either. So she was like, this is a surprise. Like, people were surprised in Washington that they let Oddish go. So again, same thing we've been preaching in the past. I'm gonna preach it again. People need to be patient. I mean, just be patient. Let's see what happens. Don't die on the hill on day one, a couple hours in, just because other people have made moves. I mean, they haven't operated like that, and they've never operated like that. So I kind of would wait a little bit.
You've mentioned it before many times, Fernando. The Cole Strange signing is pretty much what you predicted, that Mike McDaniel had a bunch of under the radar guys and he made it work in Miami. And they didn't have big names on their line and they didn't have a good season. But if you look at most offensive line metrics, they were one of the better units of the league because of what Mike McDaniel did. And then Cole Strange started 14 games for them last year, so he was part of that. So you want to have a scheme where you have guys who are familiar with the scheme. So I think bringing in Strange is a big way to do that. You got the center. You're going to have two healthy tackles. Like, people forget about that. So essentially, you got one spot left at guard.
I just feel like, I mean, who knows if Cole Strange, I mean, 2 years, 13, I mean, I guess, but you don't even know if he's going to start. Like, you never know. So I would wait a little bit. I would see what else they're going to do before I start passing judgment. But as of right now, I think I gave the Kolar move B plus. Just blocking. They needed a blocking tight end. I mean, Will Dissly was terrible last year. Everybody was pretty much Tucker Fisk was the only one that was a good blocking tight end, but they needed a different level at it. And this guy is pretty good. But yeah, I would just wait a little bit, just because that first flurry kind of goes, and then you got other solid players still out there. So I would wait a little bit. But
if you want, for Alan, before we move on, you want to answer a couple questions, because I see a bunch of Charger related questions.
Yeah, if they want to, I mean,
or Rams too. We could circle back to.
This one, I mean, I heard last week that Mike McDaniel's excited about Quentin and having Quentin and seeing the way he's going to use him. But again, same thing as Zion. The Chargers or Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz didn't draft him. I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of like, okay, let's move on. Let's go do this or go do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to move on from him just because of that. But yeah, no, I definitely heard that Mike McDaniel likes him. But damn, people are really flipping out. Like, this is crazy. All right. Maybe I shouldn't go this route, but I'm just gonna go. Kenneth Walker agrees to a deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. Gilbert, I think it was a 3-year, $45 million deal with 28.7 guaranteed. Your thoughts on that?
I like it, but a little desperate from the Chiefs. Like I like Kenneth Walker, but I don't know. He's not, what can you say? He's not even James Cook to me, because James Cook is kind of like that second tier out behind like the Saquons and the Christian McCaffreys and the Derrick Henrys of the world. So, maybe he's third tier or, below second tier. So I do like that he's explosive, in terms of being a power running back who could generate long plays. So he can move the chains and he can maybe rip one off for like 20 or 30 yards, whatever it is. And then he has some, pass catching ability, not the most, but, let's not forget that he also had trouble keeping the job with the Seahawks. I don't know if I want to give him a full fraud alert, but Fernando, you know what? You know what? Now that I think about it, I want to say Kenneth Walker's rookie year, he lit up the Chargers, and I think we were both on the
Oh,
beat at that time. And
yeah.
I think he's gonna be a special player. Like, oh, this is a good player, and he kind of hit like a wall here. And then
Yeah.
whatever Kubiak did in the second half of the season, he just took off, and he gave him a spark. So he was valuable from that standpoint. But if you're the Seahawks, you're probably saying, all right, we had a lot of ups and downs, some good memories of Kenneth Walker, but are not enough good tape and good memories for $15 million per year. I thought the Chiefs, with their track record of leaning on the draft, will draft the running back. I'm not saying they wanted, Love a pick number 9, I think it was. Maybe he won't even get to
Yeah.
pick number 9. He's that talented, but you could have drafted a running back. I get that the running back crop as a whole is not as good as say last year or the year before, but to me, it kind of felt like you were so bad at the running game last year that you got a little desperate here. But I do like the playmaker. It's just, to me, if I had to give a grade here, I'll give it like a B minus. That's being generous a little bit.
Tio says, "Don't remind me of that game. I took my dad for the game and never took him back because I thought he was bad luck."
That sounds like a Dad and Dago move.
Oh my god, that is
Was that in
hilarious.
Seattle or was that here? I forget.
I think it was no, it was here because in Seattle was that Russell
Yeah.
Wilson
Yeah.
2018.
Yes.
Desmond King picks him off and runs it back for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think we were looking at that game. Yeah, the kind of walk one.
Yeah. I want to say I like it. My only problem is my big issue is the health. He has never stayed healthy. He's never been able to stay healthy. So that's where I kind of run with the little question marks there, is that he's never been able to be healthy. So that's kind of my thought process there. But again, I mean, this kind of takes the weight off of Mahomes, especially because he's coming back from a torn ACL and I think an MCL as well. This also helps out for the they need to run the ball more efficiently. They need to be able to have playmakers there. The issue I have still is the pass catchers are a little bit of a question mark, and I did not like the last 24 hours of Travis Kelce in the media. Like, I thought that was bullshit. Like, oh, Travis is gonna look at everywhere. He's gonna look at everybody and make his decision. He's not just gonna give it to Kansas City. Then today, he has all the media people obviously give him one underneath the table and he says, oh, he had more money elsewhere, but he decided to take loyalty over money. Holy crap! Then which one was it? The loyalty or the money? What are we doing? Like, but Travis is back obviously there. I still am wondering if they're kind of like, how teams kind of rely, like the Steelers. By the way, them getting Michael Pittman today was very interesting. They never, well, actually, last year they wanted to go get DK, but before that, you remember they would get rid of receivers and they just knew that they could draft them and develop them. I wonder if that's kind of what the Chiefs are thinking. Like, we don't need the two corners. We can just go draft them and develop them, which at one point that kind of runs out because Kansas City has been really good at that. But at one point all that crap runs out. So I'm interested to see if that's their thought process. But again, for Kenneth Walker, I think it's a B minus, like you said. It's just, can he stay healthy? Because I mean, even before, at the beginning of last season, he wasn't very good. It was like you said, at the end, he really caught fire. After that Rams Seahawks game here in LA, after that, he kind of caught fire and he got going and he never got hurt. So that's what I'm interested to see what happens with him moving forward. But
yeah, now you
any final thoughts on Kelce or any of that?
Yeah, with the whole Chiefs tie-in, you got me thinking now because I did give the Chiefs a better grade in the McDuffie trade because I thought they had a mindset.
You were allowed to do that?
What? Yeah,
you were allowed to give that grade?
Uh-huh. Yeah, of course. I gave the Chiefs an A because they got the draft pick, and I gave the Rams a B, and people did not like that in terms of being.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
In terms of Rams fans, but no, I did the McDuffie trade grade, and I gave them an A because I thought they're gonna rebuild, not reload. Like, hey, you know what? It's gonna be a reset year. Kelsey's old. maybe Chris Jones declining, Mahomes is coming back from a brutal injury. Like, just kind of take a chill out year, and then if you turn out to be good, better than expected in a reset year, then so be it. Look at the 49ers last year; they made it to the divisional round. The Rams, I think, a couple years ago had a reset year, and they still made the playoffs. But getting Kenneth Walker, you're operating like you're going to be a quick fix. And how can you be a quick fix when you have a bad defense now? They have a terrible secondary, unless, like what you're saying, you're gonna draft a couple. Their pass rush was pretty overrated last year. Maybe they're relying on Spagnuolo to just kind of turn around like this with anybody who's on the field with him. That's a tough ask. But to me, when your quarterback's still rehabbing, when you have an aging Kelsey who's going to probably contribute a lot still because you can't find wide receivers, you cannot trust Rashid Rice to like just stay out of trouble and stay healthy. So to me, it just felt like a desperate move. And now you're bringing back Kelsey. I know it looks weird for Kelsey to go to a different team in a different uniform, but at some point you got to part ways with your legend and say, you know what? Thank you for what you're giving here. I'm too close to the mic here. Thank you for what you're giving for the organization. Handshake. See you later. Get the hell out of here. To me, maybe it's a 1 year too much here for Kelsey and the Chiefs for year 14.
My thing is, when you have a move like this, like, I'm sure Chris Jones and Travis Kelce are looking at it like this is the last dance. And that's going to be a huge problem.
How's this the last dance? They're not even a Super Bowl roster team. Like, that was 2 years. That was
no. I'm talking about like Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. I can tell you right now, a year from now, are not going to be on this team.
But this, I don't know, they're going to be playoff.
No. Hold on. That's where I'm going with this. That's where I'm going with this.
Saying, but if you're thinking like the Chiefs, and I'm just saying that they're wrong for thinking that way.
Yeah. No, I could. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if that's the mentality they're going into this offseason with and into the season, you're already on a bad foot because your team is bad. So you're going to start making dumb decisions to try and reload quickly and say, all right, let's get this one last year. Because you already have Nick wrong. You already have all these people saying, well, the last time the Chiefs traded a player away, like Tyreek Hill, they were in the Super Bowl for the next 2 years. That team was still very freaking good. This team's not. Your quarterback is coming off a torn ACL. Your offensive line just got worse. You lost Jawan Taylor. Well, I mean, he was hey, friend of the show. He recognized me. He said, I have a great smile. Friend of the show. Right. But other than that, I mean,
Jaylen Moore is going to be better than what Jawan Taylor gave you.
Yeah, so I completely agree. But my thing is, your left tackle was missing for half of the year last year with a family issue. Like, so
that's what's I'm not going to touch on
what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're already going in there with that mentality, then you're already screwed. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going into that with that mentality, if you're going in there with that mentality
of minutes, come on.
If you're going in there with that mentality of it's our last dance, we can do this, blah blah blah, you've already lost, because that's not, the Chiefs are still, I think, a year away from being able to compete again, just because they have an aging roster, and I don't think they've noticed that they have an aging roster when it comes to. And then they just lost Quinn Cook. They've lost some other pieces. So
Brian Cook.
Which one?
Brian Cook.
Brian Cook. Yes. Sorry, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I would caution people when it comes to that, just because I'm telling you, people are quick to say, oh, the Chiefs are back, and I'm kind of like, I would wait a little bit before I say that, because they have a lot of holes on their team, and I don't know, but I know where you're trying to go with what you're saying, though. You're essentially saying that that the Chiefs should have said this to Travis Kelce.
Fuera, and they still made the playoffs. Come on, do that.
I completely agree. No, I completely agree. Let's jump to this real quick. Mike Evans signs because I do want to get to the Raiders. I really do. The Raiders and the Titans I really want to get to, in the Saints, because they were really interesting. But Mike Evans signs a 3-year, up to $60 million deal. Gilbert, what was your thought process on that? And before you answer, Hot Wing Louis goes, I like Evans, but he's injury prone, and now being in Santa Clara with that EMF tower.
Oh, wow! I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that does. I think that matters. I was gonna stop the comment and say, you know what? Like that's unfair for Evans to be called injury prone when he had the record for most 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start a career. But yeah, the last 2 years he's been hurt, especially last year. The record stopped there with 1,000 yards receiving. And yeah, he's older. And before I also
32
didn't have
years
the
old.
yeah, before I even give my analysis, because I didn't grade this one, Fernando. So you're getting again fresh thoughts from here. But I do wonder, and I haven't looked at the contract. Maybe it's out there. They don't do that. They don't put out these funny money or the fake years this time of year because everybody like, oh, look at this money. Oh, everybody looks good. All these agents are doing well. I would not be shocked if it was a 1 year deal, $20 million. The last 2 years are phony. Cut him, maybe sucks, or he gets hurt with the EMF tower, as mentioned there. But if it's a 1 year deal, 20 million, I like it. And putting the tower aside, if he stays healthy, and Fernando, I'm sure you noticed it too when he came back. When Mike Evans came back to the field, he was still a baller. He was making plays. Like
Yeah.
it was noticeable. He still has plenty left in the tank. So to me, if he's healthy, stay away from all the freaking tower cells or whatever you want to call it there, the radioactive waves. I like it. Kyle Shanahan is a mastermind. So, when you have a bunch of injuries on wide receiver last year, Brandon Ayuk was whatever the hell that was. He's gone. You can't trust Ricky Pearsall. You lost Kendrick Bourne too. So you lost some pieces. To me, I like it. I like Evans being there, but it's going to be weird that he won't be in a Buccaneers uniform. And look at what the Buccaneers did. They said, Mike Evans, see you later. The Chiefs couldn't do that with Kelsey. So to me, that's going to backfire over there. But I'm okay with this one, Fernando. The 49ers could be dangerous with Brock Purdy, CMC, and now Mike Evans.
They're saying it's essentially a 1 year, $16 million contract.
Okay, there you go. Then for me, I'll give it an A. If it's a 1 year rental to see what he does with Kyle Shanahan, I'll give it an A. I'm okay with it. But or you know what, A minus, because you are practicing with those towers. I am worried about that.
I completely agree. I'm interested to see how he's been with Baker and he's been with Tom. Is he going to be able to adjust to the way Brock Purdy is? And then again, I still don't see the 49ers trading Mac Jones, especially because I don't think they think Brock Purdy can stay healthy. So I think they're going to keep him. Like, is he going to be okay with the quarterback carousel that they're going to have? This offense is going to be, in a sense, different. But now he's not where he was. So I'm definitely interested to see if he's able to adjust to the team and kind of their style of play. But I agree. If that's the money, I'm 100% in. I think he'll do a good job. Again, he's a good jump ball guy. He's a guy that's he's a dude that's 6'5", but he'll fish him and scoop him down from the ground, or he'll jump up and grab him from up high. So he's been consistent. He's been a really good player.
So I was going to say that Falcons game on Thursday Night Football at the end of the year, Mike Evans balled out, and that was like week 15 or something like that. He still has
that the Kyle Pitts game too?
Yeah, that's when he went off too, and he made it. We got the franchise tag, so he got paid from that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But again, I'm really interested to see how he's going to be able to adjust, because this is a player that you're taking 12 years after he's been in one place and one place only. So I'm interested to see if he's able to adjust and do what he needs to do when he's over here. But I definitely was surprised a little bit by that move. Tennessee Titans, Gilbert, hand out a lot of money. They handed out over I think it was over 300 million. No way. My math is 120, 70, 190. No, wait.
Calvin Ridley money from my last
around year. $250 million is what they threw out there. Not in guarantees, but in overall. Wandale Robinson, 4 years, 70. John Franklin Myers, 3 years, 63. Alontae Taylor, 3 years, 60. Cordell Flott, 3 years, 45. Daniel Bellinger, 3 years, 24 million. Are the 5 big contracts that they threw out there. What were your thoughts on those 5 guys?
I kind of want to like it, but it's the Tennessee Titans after all. They
And
they
they did
do
this
have
2 years ago.
yeah, but I know that previous coaching regime, and I'll be nice here, they were not competent. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. And yeah, that regime, I don't know what the hell they were doing. They were just spending money and like just because. All right, what does NFL.com have for their top one-on-one free agents? Oh, let's get 10 of those guys and call it a day. That's what they did. This regime, I'll give them more credit. And I do trust Robert Saleh with a defense. We saw what he did, with the Jets. When going back with the 49ers, when that team was decimated with injuries, obviously, and I was going to say it helps having Warner, but Warner didn't play for the final 3 months of the season. So Saleh has a proven track record. So I like the return or the reunion with Franklin Myers. I like going for Alontae Taylor. Defensively, I like it. Offensively, I'm not sure because you're bringing in guys that Brian Dable already had in New York, and what the hell? What did they do in New York? They were terrible. And now you have an inexperienced quarterback in Cam Ward. So Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, is underrated, but he got overpaid. He's a good player who could play all over the field. He could give you some bursts for down the field stretching. He could play from the inside, reliable hands. I think he had over 100 yards catching last year. So he's a good player, but a little bit overrated. I'll say this: he'll be better than Calvin Ridley from 2 years ago. So that's an upgrade from that standpoint. But you bring in Wan'Dale Robinson, you bring in Bellinger, and you're trying to replicate what you did with New York, Brian Dable. Have you learned your lesson? I don't know, and I do worry about that for Cam Ward.
I completely agree. I'll tell you one thing. I definitely think that they're gonna try and make a move for Jeremiah Love.
That'd be great. Yeah,
I think they're definitely gonna try.
4, right?
Yeah, they're number 4.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Arizona did that, but I could definitely see them trying to go get Jeremiah Love and really give Cam Ward all the weapons that they can on offense.
Well,
they still need a lot more.
Algier. Sorry, they got Algier. They brought back Connor. They brought back. Oh, they have Benton. I don't know. They're gonna go for a running back.
The Titans.
The Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals. Yeah, no. The Cardinals aren't. No, yeah. No, the Cardinals won't, and I don't think the Jets will. Or
no, they will not.
Jets just brought back Breece Hall, so it definitely is going to be up to them. But again, I'm with you because the Titans did this 2 years ago. The only thing is, I think with Robert Saleh, he saw this team and he's like, yeah, not a fan of this. The Giants could go for a running back. Yeah, no, well, that's if the Titans passed up on him. By the way, I've been hearing a lot of people say, well, they have Cam Scatterboo. That dude is one bad hit away from being a live streamer like he is right now. So
he might hit his head on the wall one day out of just pure excitement. He's out for a year.
I know. They need if they had that running back duo, that'd be fantastic for the Giants. And that would mean that what's his name doesn't have to run the ball as much as he does Jackson Dart. I mean, dude, I was there when the dude got they thought he had a concussion. They took him out of the game. Russell Wilson almost fumbles the ball away, the game away to the Chargers. So, by the way, I was waiting for when the time hit. I thought he was going to send out his God tweet about let this free agency, God's going to have me and my family, blah, 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 and then just go with it. But you know who Russell Wilson reminds me of? Do you guys remember in Blue Mountain State, the first quarterback, Stephen Amell, the guy from Arrow? He is the quarterback, and he had just gotten in trouble for sleeping with a lady of the night. And he's like, God wanted me to be with that lady of the night, and let's all please pray that I get off and that they let me play. That's exactly what Russell Wilson reminds me of when I watch.
I totally forgot he was in that. Now I think about it.
I know. So that's exactly what Russell Wilson reminds me of, that quarterback. Like, please, God, let me. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, God.
Even when he tries to talk trash to Sean Payton, it just doesn't come off right. Just keep being the saint. Come on, man. Come on.
Just put on the suspenders and the glasses, and you're fine. Again, I do like the Titans. I think the Titans are on the move. Again, I like Robert Saleh going there. I love how when he talked to Rich Eisen, he's like, for all the bald people out there, thank you so much for what you did with your coaching staff. And then obviously Gus Bradley's there. So I definitely think that's huge.
He's a DC, right?
Yeah, he's their DC. I wonder if he's going to call the plays or if Saleh. I don't think that's been kind of defined yet, but
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what happens there. But again, I like these moves just because I think Salah. See, that's the thing. I think Salah has grown up from his Jet days, but I wonder if Dable has grown up from his Giants days yet. So that's where I'm interested to see what they're gonna do
Or
from that
or
aspect.
maybe he's
But
a better game planner when he's not the head coach. Maybe that could work too.
yeah, and that's what we're gonna see from Mike McDaniel. Maybe he's a better game caller as an OC than he is as a head coach. So yeah, no, I agree with you. I want to save that other team for last. So let's go to the New Orleans Saints. Gilbert, Bills guard David Edwards, 4 years, 61 million. Travis Etienne, 4 years, 52. Noah Fant, a 2-year contract. Did you like these 3 moves by the New Orleans Saints?
Again, I'm being honest. I didn't even know that David Edwards went to the Saints, so that's a good signing by them. I did know about Travis Etienne, and I'm not shocked that they let him
I
go.
was.
Jacksonville,
Oh,
yeah, well, the Jacksonville and Etienne. I
I
don't
was
know.
surprised with who he signed with.
That yes, but I was not surprised that Liam Cohen said take a hike to ETN, even though he had some good moments. So I thought with Liam Cohen, but you could tell he was frustrated. Like one thing about Cohen I do like in Jacksonville, I know this is more about New Orleans takeaway. If he's frustrated with you, he'll call you out, and if you're not executing, he'll probably sit you or give you less playing time. So he gave ETN a chance there, but I think for the most part he did answer the call. Maybe that kick in the butt could do him do him well in New Orleans. So yeah, getting David Edwards to help out there on the interior of the offensive line. They've gotten older there, by the way, in the interior. Adding him works. This is a team that keeps trying to make it work at tackle. Hopefully, it works out for them with Kelvin Banks Jr. I think they got Fuaga 2 years ago, so maybe they have something cooking there on the O line. But yeah, in terms of adding ETN, I like it because it means that see you later, Alvin Kamara. Like the Saints need to stop holding on to the old people. Kamara wasn't that good last year. He
Gilbert,
was,
they still have their same GM from.
yeah, Mickey Loomis. Yeah, I know. So
Yeah,
maybe I
they still
shouldn't
have
give him too
Mickey
much
Loomis.
credit. They might keep one, they might not, but maybe they think Kamara does better in a committee. But yeah, he was pretty healthy, and for the most part, he just averaged maybe less than 4 yards per carry. He wasn't explosive. He wasn't versatile out of the backfield, and you have a good offensive mind in Kellen Moore. So maybe it's the start of a new era because I think Cameron Jordan is going to get released. Demario Davis left to the Jets too. I've been screaming for New Orleans fans to get a fresh start there, but Mickey Loomis does not want to do that. Maybe they're finally doing it, Fernando.
Gilbert, Mickey Loomis has been there since the first Bush administration.
Wait, the
That's
19
how
you're talking about the
2002.
1989? Oh,
No,
okay.
no, no, not George W. Bush, not
Yeah,
George
W,
H.W.
W.
No, no,
Okay.
no, no. 2000, he's been there since 2002.
I was like, was he an intern in 89 or what?
No. But he's been there since 2002, dude. Like, that's a lot of time there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and he was the GM of the New Orleans. Wasn't he the one that traded away Anthony?
Yeah, Davis. Yeah, to the Lakers. Thank you for that.
Oh God, yeah,
For
yeah,
1 year,
uh,
and then it became
yeah,
Luka Doncic. Basketball talk.
yeah. There you go. um,
Put up a statue for that guy.
I kind of like this move with Travis Etienne. It gives them a pass catching. I mean, essentially, I love that Hayden Hurst announced his retirement right now on the first day of
What?
tampering. Like,
I thought that guy retired like 4 times.
yeah. Well, I remember, dude, with the Chargers, he just like he got one concussion and he like left. He disappeared. We never
Yeah.
saw him in the. We
I think
never saw him in the
I
locker room.
snoozed when he
Nothing.
got signed a couple years ago, by the way, just to put the record
You
out
said
there.
you snoozed?
I snoozed when
Oh,
they
it
got
was, yeah. It was when they got him. I was like, kind of like, what? Like, hasn't like this guy was about to? Well, yeah, no. I I thought it was a weird move. I thought the Will Disney move was a weird move too.
That's another one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But again, I like the ETN. He can catch out of the backfield. He's basically a younger Alvin Kamara. The only thing is his
Not as
running
good.
abilities is a little iffy. Like Kamara was a beast coming out of the backfield. I just wonder because ETN had 1,000 yards. His oh wait, wow, okay, never mind. He's had 1,000 yards 3 out of his last 4 years.
Now, do me a favor, Fernando. Look at Kamara's rushing yards and let me know if you get shocked about what you see, because I was shocked when I saw the numbers at the rushing yards. But you got to keep in mind, he also does a lot. He does a lot in the passing game. That's why it's kind of like it throws you off. But yeah,
damn, he has not rushed for 1,000. Okay,
yes.
this might be a big
shocked. I looked it up. I was like, well, he's never rushed for 1,000 yards in his career.
Never.
But he, unless I could be wrong. Maybe there was one year.
Yeah, you're right.
Like 900, right? 1 year.
Yeah, he had 900.
But he's flirted with a couple 2,000-yard seasons because he gets so much in the passing game. That's the Kamara that the Saints needed last year.
Oh well, yeah. If you look at it his first year, he had 728 rushing, 826 receiving. Woo. This year, he was just abysmal. Yeah. 471 rushing, 186.
But never 1,000 yards rushing. That was surprising for me.
Dude, if you would have asked me a game show question, I would not have guessed that. Yeah. I would not have guessed he wasn't 1,000 yards.
People get him in fantasy football all those years, and he had like 20,000 touchdowns, but he couldn't get 1,000 rushing yards. Is wild.
I know. The last player in the NFL, the 2017 class.
No, because Christian McCaffrey was from the same year.
Oh yeah.
McCaffrey was first round pick that year.
The Panthers just signed Devin Lloyd.
Oh, he's talking about the Saints, bro. Yeah, Saints.
The Panthers signed Devin Lloyd to a 3-year, $25 million contract.
Ah, goddamn. Okay. Is there any money on it yet?
3 years, $45 million with $25 million guaranteed.
All right, sir. I don't know if you want to chat on your own and chat with Victor, and I'll be back in a bit, depending on where you guys are. But I gotta crank.
Let me get Vic. Yeah, let me get. All right. We'll see you in a bit.
Have fun.
Let me get him out. Okay, cool. What's up, Vic?
Oh, not much. Just here. Mexico just hit a home run.
Sorry. Oh, I actually do. Oh, Jaron Duran. I actually was watching it, but I was kind of in and out of it.
Going back to what you guys were talking about in terms of some of the moves here. I'm not surprised about the Chargers and what they've done so far. We talked about it. Like I said, the offensive line was going to be like a Moneyball thing. Those two tackles are already taken care of. They're just going to make minor moves. I did like the fact that as you brought up, the tight end, like the fact that they went and got they went and signed Ingle, a fullback. That was a given. I told you guys, I'm like, hey, do they have a fullback on the roster? They didn't. Now they do. And now he's tied for the highest paid fullback.
They're at 3.75. I was watching film of his. He goes into motion like as a receiver, and then he comes back and he'll like chip like the pass rusher, or he'll chip somebody, or like he makes big time plays that open. So I was watching some of his stuff yesterday, and I was like, oh wow, like this dude's legit. And I was getting ready to watch the F1 show. I like kind of sat down. I was watching the F1 show, and all of a sudden I got the alert. I'm like, shit. So I had to get up and write something on it. But I've been impressed with him. I think he's a good. I think he'll be good. Obviously, Charlie Kolar from the Baltimore Ravens. It's exactly what they need. It seems like they really want Aronde Gatson as their pass catching tight end. Well, you need somebody who's going to block. So he's definitely a good blocking tight end who is definitely going to open up some things. And pass catching ability, I mean, it's not really there. Like they didn't really ask him to do that, but I think here they should be able to do a little bit more. So, but I've liked the move so far. It's just I understand the frustration with Charger fans that they want the offensive line completely set, but there's still time. There's still players out there. I mean, Mike McDaniel's a good coach. He has Butch is a good offensive line coach. So kind of like on the wait and see. It's only been 10 hours since the official tampering can happen. And like we've seen, there's been times where people jump back from deals and they decide to go
Yep.
elsewhere. So I'm just telling people to stay patient. I mean, you're only 10 hours in, and people are already like people were loving up until this morning at 8 a.m. People were loving Joe Ortiz, and now everybody's hating on him. I'm kind of like, dude, what a roller coaster ride! You gotta love it though. It's up,
Yeah,
it's down, it's up and
and
down.
and one of the things I retweeted earlier on the Compas Twitter account was the fact that look, you have guys that come from the Baltimore, franchise there, and they love collecting comp picks. And so if they release guys, if another team release like Badish and then even Ingle, like they don't have to pay for those comp picks because of that. And so
Yeah,
like I said, like this team runs kind of like a money ball kind of thing in terms of
yeah,
they're gonna spend draft picks, they're gonna make sure that they get comp picks, and then they're not gonna overpay for guys. That's just the way that's just the way they do things. And so and then I was gonna switch it up with the Rams. I actually really like the fact that they went after they fixed their secondary, because the two guys that they got are really good tacklers. And one of the problems that they had, not only getting beat on the outside, but also tackling was an issue this year for the Rams. And so
yeah.
the fact that they went and got Watson and McDuffie, two guys that can tackle, and then you bring back Curl and Lake already. I mean, this was the cheapest defense in the league in terms of the Rams, and now they're finally paying money for it. So that was another good thing for the Rams, and they're taking care of their defense now. So that's good to see.
No, yeah, and they needed it. I mean, I I just kind of was I thought those guys got picked on. Well, not those guys. Jaylen got kind of picked on last year, but again, like I was telling Gilbert, what I like about McDuffie is that you can kind of use them the way that the what's their names? I like the way that the Seahawks used Witherspoon in the Super Bowl. With
Yep.
McDuffie, you can have him rush
Yep.
the passer. And I remember one year they were like, "Oh, who do you like pass rushing against?" He's like, "Oh, I love going after Herbert. Like that's always fun to go after him." So like that kind of stuff. Like McDuffie's a dog. Like he's gonna get in there and he's gonna do all that. I just thought that the money was a little much, just because I guess the problem is that I was doing the same thing that everybody else was. Like everybody was comparing it to the Jalen Ramsey trade. I did it from a different point of view where I was kind of like, well, this dude's not on the same level as Jalen Ramsey, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, I guess that's not what they need. What they need is a guy in the slot that can go slot inside or slot outside, move around, go to different parts of the field, and that's essentially what they got with him. So, but Jalen Watson is the one I'm a little skeptical about, but I do agree with I do think that. Oh, they did land Jalen Phillips today, also the Panthers.
Yep.
But I do think that they're gonna go receiver with that 13th overall to have
Yep.
something ready for two reasons. One, the Puka, like I think I heard Puka was frustrated that he's not the highest paid receiver. Was that true or was that somewhere? I don't
Well,
know if I saw it somewhere.
he's up for he's up for a contract extension. They can start giving him an extension. And I was, as I was talking on House of Horns about it. Um, McVay got asked about, and Les Need got asked about, you know, what some of those
Like,
extensions are going to look like, and whether or not they're going to try to extend some of those guys from the 2023 class, because now the 2022 class has kind of, the only two guys that were re-signed so far have been Quinn Lake and then Kyron Williams.
and you
And
can't keep them all.
no, you can't keep them all. So then 2023, you got guys like Kobe Durant, you got Kobe Turner, you got and then you start looking at Puka, you start looking at guys like Jared Verse, Byron Young, and they said they're gonna wait and see how the rest of the offseason goes before they start thinking about extensions. So
I think that's smart.
yeah, and like we talked to you, and that's why I brought up the whole Puka thing. Is like, at what point do you start thinking about re-signing him? Because most of the people we've talked to, whether it's Eric Williams, anybody else, most people are saying like, I would probably try to do like a 3-year contract, just because he gets hit a lot. He's a good blocker. He does all the dirty work. but eventually that body's going to break down. And we've already seen he's been hurt. Last season he missed one game, but that was because he was on he got hurt right before they had a bye week, so he was able to take advantage of that. And then the year before that, he was hurt. He missed, I think, 4 games, I think it was. So it's just something to kind of keep in mind as well. And then he's been out there this offseason, and as you guys talked about, like this is not the time for him to kind of be doing that when you're trying to get paid. The other thing I was going to bring up, and I'm kind of waiting to see what happens this offseason, Fernando, but not having someone like Cooper Kupp and having someone like Devontae Adams, who's not really like a locker room guy, like kind of to be a mentor for Puka, I think that's a big deal. And that's why he's kind of, when Cooper was there, when Cooper Kupp was there, you didn't hear about Puka like doing stuff during the offseason. Now that it's Devontae Adams who pretty much, does his own thing, I think that might be an issue, especially if you don't have a leader in that wide receiver room.
Well, and not just that, it's also like if Puka starts messing around with like porn stars or starts doing weird stuff like that, they're gonna get a little bit more frustrated. Because I know he shot his shot at Sydney Sweeney. I thought that was pretty funny, but like after everything that's happened from June until now, or November till now, you're kind of like, okay, dude, this is kind of starting to become a trend. Like slowly but surely, we've seen this before. Like you just need to relax a little bit. And you're right, when you don't have a locker room guy to kind of take him off to the side. Because the thing is, this team is young. The only like real like who would you say is like a big leader in that team? Like you lost what's the name to the Seahawks, the linebacker.
Yep.
I can't
Yeah.
remember his name right now.
Yeah. And I interviewed him, and I'm like drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Why the heck am I drawing a blank? He went to the Titans and then went to the Seahawks, which kind of Leonard. No, what the hell is his name? I'm drawing a blank. But yeah, when you don't have dudes like that, it's a
they don't have
problem.
they don't have leaders on this team. Like from what I see, like they have ballers.
Yes.
But like you have leaders. Like Matthew Stafford's not a guy that's gonna pull you off to the side and be like, hey, dude, like you kind of need to relax, you need to chill out a little bit. Like I don't think he's like that. So so they kind of are missing that locker room guy. But it's funny, recently I was told that the Chargers were in at the end with Devontae, and that kind of like what leaned him towards, obviously it's a big lean, is that he's like Greg Roman's offense or Sean McVay's. Yeah, I'm gonna go to this side of the aisle. So I'm like, yeah, no. But that's the thing, is that Puka's kind of the player that does all the dirty work, and Devontae's the guy that scores the touchdowns. So that's kind of the thing that that you can see from both of them. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think Puka needs to calm down a little bit and know, hey, dude, there's a lot of money to be made by you. You just need to relax, keep on doing your thing, be the hard worker that you've been, and you're going to get paid. If not, you're going to be screwed, and you're going to be out of they could trade you, or they could do something else. So I just think Puka needs to relax a little bit, and I know it's a lot, but I don't know, the brother Jack in that car and some of that other stuff I'd get a little hesitant about.
Yeah, like get paid first, like Gilbert was saying, and then do all this dumb stuff. Like it's a bad look. And the last thing you want to be doing is babysitting a player right now, and especially when you're going all in, and that's the biggest thing. But we'll see what happens. One thing we saw is that even with all the controversy that happened during the season, he still balled out. So one thing you can count on is that he's gonna ball out. My thing is, the team might not, prioritize you, because they've been really good at finding dudes in the 3rd to 5th round. Cooper Kupp was a 3rd round pick. So the one thing I will say though is that they brought back Woods from to be one of the receiver coaches. So that'll be something to have someone like him in that in the coaching staff. I think it's going to help as well.
I agree. I think Robert Woods is definitely, we know how that guy is. So I definitely agree. He's gonna be a big part of it. So I completely agree with you.
Where do you want to go next?
The Chicago Bears have been operating in a weird way, I think.
They're focusing on their defense. They went out and they signed
Neville Gallimore, Devin
yeah.
Bush, Kobe Bryant.
The Devin
They
Bush
traded
was
for
a
Garrett
little bit of a
Bradbury.
head scratcher.
That's a lot of money.
He played really well with the Browns. Remember, he was drafted by the Steelers, and he kind of he didn't pan out there, and then they traded. He kind of moved around, and then he went to the Browns last year, and then played with Schwarzenegger. They're the defensive rookie of the year, and he played really well. You're just wondering whether or not he can. You're always wary of guys who have a career year right when they're about to hit free agency and whether or not they can keep doing it. So, but
That's
he's
why
still
I'm
a young guy.
a little hesitant on Kenneth Walker. Like that's what makes me a little hesitant on him because everything fell into place last year. Like the back end of the season, the playoffs, the Super Bowl MVP, like everything really fell into place. I don't know if that's going to happen again for him.
Did you hear the story about him though, that he fired his agent like late in the season?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he fired him late in the season. Then he goes on that run. He hires a new agent, wins the Super Bowl MVP, and then gets this contract. So I mean, the one thing with him, watching him throughout his career, Fernando, has been the fact that at least the last 2 years he wasn't the main guy. They like to have two guys run the ball there in Seattle. And that was the frustrating thing. If you're like a fantasy player and I think a lot of the fantasy football community thought that this was going to be a breakout year for K9, and it just seemed that they were doing the whole sharing the backfield thing. And every time you saw Kenneth Walker have a good game, then the next game it was like they didn't give him enough carries. And I think part of the reason he blew up is because the other running back got hurt and he was able to be the main guy. And I think with Kansas City, that's what they're hoping for, is that he's the main guy. So I understand it. And they've struggled to find a running back. It's been a couple years now for the Chiefs.
No, I completely agree. I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen now that he's going to be, because like you said, they're going to ask him to be the main back. And I just don't know if he's able to carry all of that, if he's going to be able to carry all of that. So definitely going to be interesting there. The Bills are a little bit, they also have me scratching my head a little bit. D. Alford from the Falcons, 3 years, 21 million. Kyle Allen. Oh, well, that one. I mean, they retained Connor McGovern, which was good. And then they traded for DJ Moore. I'm still questioning some of that stuff. I mean, I get that they want more pass catchers. DJ Moore, to me, I didn't like the way he looked coming down at the end of the season. I just didn't like the end and then the playoffs. I'm a little skeptical on him.
Yeah, and then the whole Brandon Bean thing. If you go back to last year, Fernando, remember he said that they didn't need any more receivers, and of course that backfired on him. And so that's the thing. You want as they're one of those teams like we've talked about the Rams, we've talked about the Bears. The Bills are in the same predicament where they're gonna go all in. Like this, there's only so many years you're gonna have Josh Allen in his prime. He eventually is gonna break down because he puts his body way out there. And so they went and they fired. They blamed their issues on their head coach, which we were critical of him, but then now they're going to Joe Brady, and we'll see what happens. They're switching up their defense, so they're getting rid of some dudes there, and they're bringing in new guys. So it'll be interesting to see how Joe Brady does. I'm kind of like I don't know what to think of the Bills. It just seems like they're always going to be like, if it just feels like they plateaued, Fernando, and I just don't see if they're going to do enough to be able to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they have they still have they still have.
I love how people are over here making trades.
I know.
In the comments.
I'm I'm still a little skeptical on because like they have Josh Palmer, and I know Josh Palmer. He was a guy that, and down the stretch he was hurt. Like 2 years ago, he was hurt down the stretch for the Chargers. He didn't play in that game against the Texans, that playoff game, and then last year he was hurt for the Bills towards the end of the season. He got on IR, so I know how all that stuff goes with him. So they already have him. I mean, we'll see, but I don't like the direction that the Bills are headed. And then they let go of Teron Johnson. I think that's his name, Teron Johnson.
Yeah.
They traded him to the Raiders, who we'll get to in a second. And I actually really like that trade for him because I think he's a really good player. I still think he has a chance to ball. But yeah, I mean, I'm just really skeptical on the Bills. I think they're trying to get weapons I think they're getting discounted weapons and overpaying them, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah, no,
and Josh Palmer $12 million last year, like a year. He's not worth $12 million a year.
What was the thing you said about Josh Palmer, that he's good for one catch and
one
then,
catch a game?
Yeah, and I mean
one catch a game.
And I just don't understand. Like I said, Brandon Beane getting a promotion after. If you look at his draft history of late, like he's getting rewarded for drafting Josh Allen, but he's when there's been other dudes who were responsible for his development, and that's the thing. Like I as you guys have talked about, a lot of GMs they sugarcoat to the owner and they tell him all the sweet things that they need to be told, and then the rest of the team ends up being the one that pays for it. And so we'll see if these moves work out for them. I thought it was interesting that they were in on the Max Crosby trade as well. They need to fix that defense as well. We'll see how going to Jim Leonard now as a defensive coordinator, how that ends up for them, because you're gonna have to switch up some things. But I'm with you. Teron Johnson. You even heard Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee saying glowing things about him. So
yeah,
I mean, we'll see what happens.
And then obviously let's just finish up. If Gilbert comes back, then he comes back. But if not, we can finish off here. Obviously, everybody knows that the season isn't won on day one of tampering, but I thought so far the Raiders have done a really good job. They started the day by trading for Teron Johnson, the cornerback out of Buffalo. I really like him. I think he's good. Eric Stokes, they re-signed 3 years, 30. Jaylen Naylor from Minnesota, 3 years, 35, wide receiver. Then things got really interesting with these next three. One, Tyler Linderbaum decides to go to the Raiders, 3 years, $81 million. That's $27 a year. The center from the Baltimore Ravens. I saw that the Baltimore Ravens tried to keep him, but they weren't able to. That's a huge money, but when scared money don't make money, so they decided to go all in for Linderbaum. They have their starting center. I already saw that Jackson Powers Johnson already said, "Hey, let's go get it. Let's get this done." So it most likely means that he's going to be moving to guard. You have Colton Miller. Yep. So those are three pieces that they already have there on the offensive line. They go get edge Quay Walker, 3 years, $48 million. I think he tore his ACL or his Achilles last year. He's coming off of that. Am I mistaken? Or
he's been hurt. He's a Michigan guy, and we know Brady
he tore his Achilles, like he had torn his ACL or something coming in to like on his last like in college he tore something coming in. Like they took him, but he had come in with like a torn ACL or something, but they decided to exercise his 5th-year option. And now he was a free agent. He had a really good year a couple of years ago. Like 2002, he had 6 sacks. 2023, he had 8.5. So he looks like like he could be a solid matchup pickup if he stays healthy. Here was the big one. This one came back to back almost instantly. a couple insiders went the one way, then the other insiders went the other way. Nakobe Dean, 3 years, 36. Quay Walker, 3 years, 40.5. Both of them are both of those guys are linebackers, one from the Green Bay Packers, the other one from the Philadelphia Eagles. Gilbert, I'm going to start it off with you. What did you like the Raiders' day or the additions that they made? What did you think of them?
Yeah, before I ask you to refresh my memory, I did get the Tyler Linderbaum prediction correct at my store at si.com. I got Linderbaum, I got Jaylen Phillips correct. There's a few other. I was actually surprised.
You said that he was going to go to the Panthers?
Yeah, I got Jaylen Phillips to the Panthers. I got Wanda Robinson to the Titans. I got Tyler Linderbaum to the Raiders. So I got a few.
My bad. You weren't on. I didn't know when you jumped in because I was over on this side. But they trade for Teron Johnson, cornerback from the Bills. They re-signed Eric Stokes, 3 years, 30. Jalen Naylor, 3 years, 35. Quiddy Pay, 3 years, 48. The edge rusher. They get Tyler Linderbaum, 3 years, 81. Then I said almost instantly, it seemed like the ESPN guys went with the Nakobe Dean, 3 years, 36, while the NFL Network guys went Quay Walker, 3 years, 40. So what did you think of that?
Yeah, there's a lot that you mentioned there. I do like it from a standpoint that, you know, when you lose an edge rusher like Max Crosby, that what you do or what the initial reaction is to scramble and get a bunch of edge rushers who are like a couple of tiers below Max Crosby. We saw with Micah Parsons and the Cowboys, maybe a different situation because Jerry Jones traded Micah Parsons 2 weeks before the season. Well, that was a smart idea. He had a scramble for whatever you could get. So maybe not the same, but a lot of times you load up on 4 or 5 mediocre edge rushers and you're not really thinking about it the smart way. So to go at the linebacker position, to go instead of saying we have a need here, you go with the best players available. I like actually Nakobe Dean better than Quay Walker. I'm unsure about Quay Walker because he had one good year, which was last year. You don't get Jeff Hafley. He was kind of a up and down first round player. Maybe I'm looking at it from that standpoint too much. So he was a first round talent who couldn't live up to the expectations. Nakobe Dean, I want to say was a second or third round pick. I forget. Maybe Victor knows that one. But he was not a first round pick. I'm pretty sure. But he's had injuries too. But the thing with Dean, he's versatile. He could cover wide receivers, tight ends. Maybe not a physical downhill guy, but he also got Quay Walker. So I like the pairing. This could be a kind of a good, backup plan for losing Max Crosby. And then let's not forget with Max Crosby, they also got a bunch of draft picks to help out in that department. So you got Walker, you got Dean. Obviously, I love the Linderbaum signing because that's what I kept stressing because you need you have all the money. You have a need because you have a rookie quarterback. Like having Linderbaum for Fernando Mendoza is much more important than it is to Justin Herbert. He knows how to call the protections. He knows how to adjust and move on. Yes, I've seen Justin Herbert take a beating for the last few years, but Mendoza is going to be a rookie. I do like it from that standpoint. You have the money, get the sure thing. It was high money. I was shocked when I heard that he was shocked. The highest paid interior lineman in NFL history, not center, interior. That means guard too. So, yeah, you did have to overpay, but when you have a rookie, you haven't gotten crap right. You have the cap space. It's a reset year. I like it. Obviously, what's another one? Boye Mafe, I thought was an kind of signing. That was maybe a little bit an overreach. Again, I don't like when you have to scramble for edge rushers. Boye Mafe lost a lot of snaps in Seattle. I think he was playing about half the defensive snaps there under Mike Macdonald. If you couldn't figure out with Mike Macdonald, I worry about him and the Raiders there because he couldn't crack them there.
You sign with him? I think it's Quiddy Pay.
Oh, no, sorry. Oh, yeah. Boye Mafe went to Bengals. I'm sorry. Thank you for that, Victor. Yes, also, similar, Quiddy Pay is a first-round pick who couldn't really cut it out with the Colts. It's all a blur. But, yeah, Quiddy Pay was up and down. What was the contract, Vic? Give me the numbers on that one. Quiddy
Pay. 3 years, 48 million.
So, what, more than 15 million per year? Yeah, still high asking, high number for a guy who couldn't deliver in Indy. Quiddy Pay, I can't even remember a year where he really did something. Let's not forget that they drafted Leo to Latu because this guy couldn't produce as a first round pick. So I worry about that. But forget what I said about McDonald, that he did not have that Quiddy Pay, had Gus Bradley for a couple of years. So not the same like Mike McDonald, but still good mind there. I don't know. To me, I thought they overpaid with Quiddy Pay. He just could never really figure it out. What was his strength in Indianapolis? I never really heard much about him setting the edge, rushing the passer. But hey, sometimes when you're a first round pick, I'm not saying he's Sam Darnold. When you go elsewhere, you might find a better opportunity, a better fit with the coaching. So if you ignore that one, I'm okay with the linebackers. I'm okay. Even with the Teron Johnson cornerback signing, I think he played a little more nickel than outside. That's always a value in the NFL. I'm surprised the Bills got something for him, but hey, the Raiders have the money to absorb contracts. I'm sure they might even change stuff around. So overall, I think it's a good day. With Linderbaum there, I don't care if they overpaid. I like Dean, I like Walker. I'll give it an A here. That's a good day for the Raiders. This is a way to rebuild the team where you're not copying people. You're not, when you're hearing people and say, "Oh, you're overpaid for off-ball linebackers. You guys are terrible." That's a good thing. You guys are trying something different. You're not following a blueprint. I like it.
I didn't like Linderbaum's contract.
Yeah, but from the standpoint where the Raiders are coming from, I get the overpayment.
I just thought, like, well, I mean, who would have known that there was going to be so many teams releasing their center? I just thought $27 million a year is a little bit much. And then, like, I kept on hearing something about his medical, that there's something about him medically that the Ravens were nervous about. I just can't remember what it was, but again, I would have said that if the Ravens would have paid $27 million, I would have been like, "What are you doing?" But I do understand it from the standpoint of that the Fernando Mendoza needs a center. This is a good center. Obviously, we'll see if JPJ and him can have a good combination there. Obviously, they have to get the whole offensive line figured out. I really like
JPJ because Pete Carroll did not like the guy, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, there was a lot out there. Yeah, there was. I mean, I remember when we talked to Adam. Adam thought he was good, but I think there was like other people that thought that he wasn't very good. So I don't know. And then they kept on switching him. Yeah, they kept. I think they literally are gonna have to come in and like flush everything that he thought about the offensive line down the toilet and be like, "All right, dude, like you're starting new. Let's reset your chip. Like this is how we're gonna attack this because whatever you were learning from the Carroll brothers, that's all bullshit. Like you need to. This is the way we're gonna teach you the offensive line." So, by the way, did you see Mike Silver's article on Alex Guerrero and how he kind of runs everything there with the Raiders?
Yeah, I did. I do have
it sitting on my desktop. I haven't read it yet.
I do have my concerns, but I do like that he told Max Crosby, "I don't care that you could play. We're going for the number 1 pick. Take a hike."
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
He was that guy. Lastly, he was the guy to break the news to him.
I like the Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker. I think those two moves are really good. I think those two guys can both. I think both of those guys bring something different to the table that's going to help the Raiders. Again, I like the Teron Johnson move. Eric Stokes was he did a really good job last year from the times that I saw. I thought he was decent, but obviously their new defensive coordinator is going to keep some of the guys that he likes. So again, what I really liked and what the reason why I'd give this an A is because they got rid of Max Crosby and they got a bunch of picks for him, and now they have the 2 top 15 or 2 top 16 draft picks that they can make 2 moves on. If they end up getting Fernando Mendoza and then they can get that guard out of Penn State, you have literally hit a slam dunk. Even though you probably need another receiver or something else, but if you can get that guard, because that dude's violent, and you can and you get Fernando Mendoza, then you may be sitting pretty. I just wonder what this coaching staff's going to do with Fernando. Are they going to try and sit him for a year, or is the fan base too rabid and the Joe Morleys are calling you idiots on Instagram and you decide, and the Samoan Raiders over here saying, "Oos, you got to play them, Oos. You got to play this kid, Oos." And you guys decide to just throw him in there. So that's where I'm really interested to see what they're going to do. Huh?
I'll say he'll play by November. Which would be a lot of patience. That would be a lot of patience. Are you 2 months?
I think that's what Clint Kubiak needs to have when he comes in. I think Kubiak needs to like be patient because look, Kubiak has a long leash. I mean, they brought him in. He's a new first-year head coach. By the way, I commend the Raiders. Other teams would have tried to run it back one more year with Pete Carroll, and they would have got the number 1 overall pick. Pete Carroll would have screwed with the quarterback, and then they would have had to have restarted the whole thing. So I give the Raiders a lot of credit for bringing in a new head coach. I think Quinn Kubiak needs to sit down and be like, you know what? If Fernando needs to sit, that's cool. Bring in the 4'10" quarterback from Arizona on a 1-year deal, or bring sorry, my bad, 5'10". Or bring in let's bring in a veteran quarterback to come in here and start him off at the beginning, and then bring in Fernando Mendoza when we think he's ready. But I really think Fernando is going to be one of those guys that needs to sit a little bit, watch, and then go. But again, I really like the moves that the Raiders made. The Linderbaum thing, $27 million is a lot, but the Raiders had it; they could spend it, and I do commend them for making moves. And it looks, and again, I really like John Spytek. I think he's a really good GM. I think he's going to make some moves. They made some moves last year.
Can he draft? Huh? That's my concern. Can he draft? I don't know.
Yeah, that's going to be the issue.
Drafting.
Yeah, and again, the thing that's going to help Mendoza besides the offensive line is he has a great tight end there. The only thing is, can that tight end stay healthy? So that's going to be my question. But I definitely think that that they're off to a good start. They already have the running back. They already have the tight end. Now they're going and getting him that offensive line. So good way. I mean, I that's the way it looks like to me. They're going to piece together the defense like the Chargers did a couple of years ago with some glue, some duct tape, some popsicle sticks, and piece that all together, while the offense are going to try and go for it now and try and build that to have it ready from when their rookie quarterback is ready to go.
For me, I mean, this is weird. I've seen this, if I'm being completely honest. Like, they went after dudes that are between the age of 25 and 27. They didn't go for dudes that were over the hill, which they typically do. We've seen this with,
that was the 49ers.
Yeah, like they went young. Like, the other thing that I like about this process is that you have a GM, a coach, and a quarterback that are going to be on the same timeline. The other thing too with these free agents, they're all being signed to 3-year deals, so they're all going to be on that same timeline. That's another good thing with this. You're going from, on defense, you're going from a 4-3 to a 3-4. So the fact that they went out and prioritized linebackers, that was also a good thing. The other guy that you guys didn't mention that they're bringing back is Malcolm Koonce. They bring him back on a 1-year deal, prove it deal again. And so I'm interested to see how Robbie Leonard.
That's that dude's third prove it deal, Gilbert.
Actually, yeah. I do worry about that one, Vic, because he wasn't that good last year, but he was coming off the knee injury. Maybe it's better this year. Who knows?
Yeah, and he might fit better in a 3-4 than he did in a 4-3. So there's also that. And so I'm cautiously optimistic because I've seen this kind of thing with the Raiders before. So I want to see where they continue to build. And I'm with Fernando. I think that 14th pick now, if they go and they draft that guard out of Penn State, if he's there. If not, then you go get some a receiver. And if not, if nobody's there, then you trade back and you try to get even more picks. Right now, you're sitting there with 11 picks. You draft Fernando Mendoza, and you have a quarterback on a rookie contract. And the other thing too that a lot of people forget about, like, well, the Raiders are overspending. What are they doing? You have the one thing about the NFL and the salary cap, you have to have a floor. They have to spend at least $100 million. You have to pay some of these guys out there. So some of the one thing I will say is that they're spending it wisely. They're spreading it around, and they're going after guys that are between 25 and 27 years old out in free agency. And they're guys that probably need a new place for them. The one I did like was Nakobe Dean, as you were asking. He was a 3rd round pick for the Eagles. He has been hurt. Quay Walker, I think, will fit this 3-4 a lot better. I would have been a little concerned if it was a 4-3 that he was going into, but you need off-ball linebackers here for this defense. And so now with Max Crosby out of the picture here, it would be funny if they're finally good. after not being good at all while he was there. What did they have? One playoff appearance while he was with the Raiders. It would be kind of funny, but it's been weird kind of seeing this because even like watching some of the or reading some of the stuff from like Adam Hill is like it's weird seeing a competent front office doing stuff like this.
You're
Because
saying Adam Hill has been positive on the Raiders?
yes,
Wow.
and he even said look at the free agent signings. He said 25, 25, 27, 27, and 27. And I'm like, wow, like
no more Jamal Adams coming back to play linebacker.
No, he went to the Jets.
Devin White coming back because he's better than ever now.
Nope. So I think it's kind of a weird thing for the Raiders right now. Raider fans, it's just like, you know, I saw Joe Morley out there like almost having a heart attack, saying that how great, you know, of a difference this is for him. So yeah, it's weird, but I'm like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic because, as you said, Gilbert, we still don't know if John Spytek can draft, because you look at all those draft picks from last year. Yeah, he got Genty, and now we're gonna see what he can do with the good offensive line. But then after that, you know, you look at their second round pick, Besh. He didn't have much of a production, which was weird because that coaching staff just didn't play him enough. You had Thorne in the fourth round. You had those through the third round. You had those offensive linemen that finally got some burn. So we'll see if those offensive linemen can develop and where they end up. I want to see whether or not one of those guys takes one of the guard positions or one of those guys takes the right tackle position. I'm not sold on Glaze. He's been given that position, but he's gonna have to fight for that right tackle. And so, but like I said, that draft last year didn't look good for Spytek. So
am I wrong in saying that this defense looks better now than when they had Max
No,
Crosby?
I'm with you. That's why I said like the fact that you were able to remove his $30 million and bring in guys that kind of fit this defense, I think I'm with you. I think this defense will be better next year. And you got Jeremy Shin, who you don't have to play at the nickel now with Taron Johnson there. So that's another win.
Oh, damn, the Raiders are double dipping with linebackers Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean. The two guys I had at the top of the list right under Linderbaum. The Raiders just said, check, check, check. Oh, my God.
I'm a Diet Coke, Joe Morley.
Woo. This today has been outstanding for the Raiders.
Is it an Oregon fan or what?
And you got two first-round picks to go along with whatever we're doing. John Spytek, Raiders, everybody who gave this organization shit just a couple days ago because they got rid of Max motherfucking Crosby. You gotta love what is going on in Las Vegas right now. Who said people don't want to play for the Raiders? Who said nobody wants to come play in Las Vegas? Hell, this was supposed to be a rebuild. But if these guys can get it all together this year, look at Raiders being back and the NFL being very upset. Raiders!
Jesus, I flew back. The intensity, the passion, I love it.
Oh, but then he had to go. He had to go with the. Can you imagine if we're back?
Damn, that's good though. I love it.
No, I agree. I mean, honestly, like for day one, I like the I would go with the Raiders right now for the number one. My like favorite.
Best grade of the day.
Huh?
Best grade of the day.
I would go with the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't think of another one right now.
I mean, I get Vic and I were talking. Chicago, I was kind of like, okay, they're trying to go defense. Buffalo, I have a fat question mark on. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do.
So, can I ask you guys? Can
I ask Raider Gilbert coverage? How you doing, man? Thank you so much for jumping on the today and all that. I think he saw the Raiders early winners question mark, and he was like, "Oh, let me jump in."
Good headline.
There's been a lot of Raider fans in the comments, so I
know. Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, no, and I wanted to ask Gilbert this in terms of like teams that kind of have to go all in this year. Like you have Buffalo, Chicago, the Rams, the Chargers. Like what like I guess the question is, are you, where do these teams go, and do they have to go all in if that's the case here in free agency?
Yeah, I guess I did, especially when you're talking about the DJ Moore trade. Like I do want to bump up like those teams for going and having and doing something with the urgency. This is the pressure that you have. You have Josh Allen, you have Matthew Stafford on possibly his final year with the team. So to me, I'm okay with going all in. It's just like always have, like, I think what I've been doing this year is giving, and I hopefully maybe this is not a bad thing because I'm going off of last year, but a lot of times a team that's inheriting the star player, they don't get the results that they want. And maybe that's because only one team wins the damn Super Bowl. So
Yep.
it creates kind of this aggressive kind of bidding war for players and going all in. So yeah, if you're if you're a fan base of a team that's close and they're going for it, don't worry about the money. Don't worry about what these guys are making or how much you gave up. Like go, like this is a year you go in and get a Super Bowl title. Like, yeah, I like the Seahawks, and people are probably gonna say, here he goes again, crapping on Sam Darnold. But like, do they have a look to repeat again? Like they're good defense, but I don't, like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I won't pick them to win the Super Bowl once more next year. So to me, that says it's wide open. So I can't even think of maybe they are the best team right now on paper because they just won it and they have the best defense, but there's no dominant team. So to me, it might be similar to last year when it was wide open. So if it's wide open, go ahead and do it. But to me, I don't know if there's a team yet that I could say reckless. Like even the teams that are spending are just losers. Like you mentioned, Victor, you have to spend the money somewhere. Like people are crapping on the Jets, but what do you want the Jets to do? They're not going to turn it around anytime soon. So you got to spend money on DeMario Davis and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Like, I don't know. It's a retirement home for has-beens. That's kind of messed up. Retirement home for the formerly good players. But like, what can you do? They're not going anywhere. Maybe it's their way of maybe tanking for the number 1 pick in 2027. Don't forget about that. Like Miami too. Has Miami done anything of anything noticeable?
No, but they're going full tank.
Yeah, so that's another one. Like to me, like either just know where you are. If you're a team that maybe is like in the middle and they're spending money to compete with the teams way up here, that's where you should work. Because then you're gonna be 8 and 9 and 9 and 8, then you're screwed all over again. So that's the ones that I was worried about. But I don't see anything of the Tennessee Titans of 2023 or 2024. I'm losing track here. Like what the hell you're thinking here? So yeah, overall, I think it's been maybe a smart day. And I think, did you guys hear that teams are now allowed to talk to the players on the phone or have a Zoom call for an hour? Maybe that's making people having better decisions. Like, okay, it's like an interview. Let's talk to you. Maybe that's creating this kind of effect of not dumbass crap out there. But there's been a couple dumbass moves, by the way.
Duran just homered again, so it's 5-3 USA in the top of the 8th. So
WBC, not to be confused with the World Boxing Council.
The green belt.
Yeah, the green belt.
Yeah, but I agree with you guys. There was real quick, Malik Willis going to the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa to the Falcons. Any thoughts?
Yeah. They're still gonna. Yeah, that's the one. I was trying to remember what did Miami do, and that was the move where I'm like, I don't know. I get it. Like he has connection with Jeff Hafley, but Jeff Hafley was coaching defense. Like how much did they really overlap in Green Bay? Maybe the GM was like, hey, just take a chance on him. We're trying to go for a rebuild year. He's a good bridge quarterback. I don't know if I like it. I thought he would have been a good fit with Pittsburgh, adding Pittman, adding Rico Dow. I mean, I don't know about, like, if you have Aaron Rodgers with Pittsburgh, I don't like it. Like, if you would have had Malik Willis, it's like, there's some upside. I kind of want to watch it. With Miami, it's going to be Justin Fields 2.0 in Miami. So I don't know. I'm not expecting much here, by the way.
Yeah, and then the Cardinals went with Minshew there to be the backup. So it sounds like Brissett is going to be the starter because they were in on Jimmy Garoppolo was maybe an option there. So
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Brissett. He had some good command of the offense last year. If you're going to also tank, keep it with Brissett.
Yeah, and then Fernando was asking about what the Raiders might bring in. I think Kirk Cousins makes a lot of sense if you have him start the beginning of this. Yeah,
I want to see a podcast on with those two guys or a reality.
I
TV
know,
show.
right?
Like Kirk Cousins, it's gonna be all Jesus talk.
Yeah, and going to where does he go get his haircuts again? I forget.
Or Sports Clips, I think, or I forget.
Yeah, Sports Clips. Oh yeah.
Sports Clips. Dude, some guy on Twitter said some guys like it's already on clearance. Like right now, you can go buy a Tua Tagovailoa Falcons jersey for $99. Some guys like anybody caught wearing this, I'm popping you in the middle of the street.
Okay, speaking of dumbass moves, like what are the Falcons doing? Like what do you want Tua? Like
injury-prone lefty quarterbacks.
I'm left-handed. You're making me look bad Tua and make Michael Penix Jr. Come on, we could throw the football around a little bit. No, I can't.
That is going to be a really bad. I don't know. Atlanta just. Why don't you trade for Dylan Gabriel and really go 3 for 3 on that shit? Like,
yeah.
Corner the QB market on lefties.
Well, they got Michael Vick, the dog killer. So yeah.
Whoa, allegedly. He went to jail for tax evasion. But all right. Appreciate everybody for jumping on and checking out another episode of NFL Tampering Window Day 1. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow. Are we going to be back tomorrow, or what are we?
Yeah, kind of the waiting game again tomorrow. Hopefully, it's not as crazy as today.
Okay, yeah, we'll be on the waiting game tomorrow. We'll let you guys know, but for sure, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow.
Dan should be making an appearance tomorrow.
I hope so.
I don't think so. He has a basketball game tomorrow. Yeah,
basketball.
Yeah, he is. Don't get him started on it. One of our buddies goes, "You're gonna love it by the end of the season," and he texts him, "I still hate it. What are we like? What are we doing?" And then he just starts laughing. I will say this: it is interesting to watch him because he's patient. Like he points out things that I'm like, oh wow, like he's like, dude, like he tells the big guys, you got to get bigger. You have to go up there. You have to, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, like
bear sign.
Yeah, exactly. Remember in Ted Lasso when she goes, when you go to the mirror, you just go, and when she's talking to the little the assistant kit manager. But all right. Appreciate everybody so much for checking out another episode of the early tampering window with the Compas. We'll be back tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll be back Wednesday because that is when the new league year starts. So if not tomorrow, we'll be back Wednesday. So but Blue Dream, my God. Definitely appreciate you guys. Blue Dream, by the way, you're the best for saying you love the Compas. We love you. You guys are the best. Again, thank you guys so much. We will be back. Gilbert, why don't you get us out of here?
Yeah, let's get out of here. A bunch of willing and dealing. I totally forgot about the Malik Willis move, the Tua to the Falcons, but that's why we're here with the Compas to refresh our memory, have a good time here, talk a little basketball, Dan coaching, talk a little WBC, boxing, and baseball. So we do it all here. So time to get going. See you tomorrow. See you Wednesday. We'll figure it out. But that's how we operate, right? We're Mexicans. We do it on our own time. So time to get going. Y nos vamos, pues, vámonos.